Company accounts. So in this video we're going to discuss what company accounts are for and how we use them. So our company accounts, they're there for you to get the supplies you need to get the job done. Whenever you're out and about doing jobs, we often come across the need for extra supply lines, drain hoses, and many various other parts throughout the course of our day depending on what we do. We want to remember to keep our van supplied with the parts that we need to get jobs done. If we go out and we don't finish a job, we don't complete a job, we don't make any money. We only make money when we are completing jobs. So in order to maximize the amount of money that you can make, you want to be prepared to get jobs done. So we have the company account set up for all of our employees to use in order to make sure that you have access to those supplies that you need. But what are the company accounts not for? Well, they're not for personal spending. We don't use the company accounts to purchase drinks, food, or other personal items. Company accounts are also not for personal tool shopping. You are expected to maintain your own personal tools. But if you need to purchase something to get a job completed, and you're not sure if it's allowed to be purchased on the account, call your manager. But again, the company account is not for personal spending. It's for getting and acquiring the parts that we need to complete jobs. When we are completing jobs, there's a few certain things that we are expected to require as part of an installation. Such as if we're installing a dishwasher, we are expected to supply an outlet if it's needed, and a box. However, things like appliance cords or extra drain lines if you're in a blind corner situation, these things are not part of what we are expected to supply as part of the installation price. So whenever we use these parts, we spend money on the company account. We need to pass that cost to the customer. If we keep these parts in our van, then we can get jobs done on the first trip. This makes you more efficient, you get more done in less time, and this means you make more money. So we want to our goal for using the company account is to try to make ourselves the most efficient possible so that we can make the most money, make our time every day count. And again, these extra parts, they're not included. Only very few things are included when we're doing an install. If the customer didn't purchase all the necessary parts and we have to supply them from our van, because we had to pay money for those parts, the customer also has to pay for those parts. It's additional costs. And keep in mind that you want to mark those parts up a little bit. Remember, if you paid something for $20, that's part of your account spending, which will then be factored against your bonus when your pay is considered. So if you upsell that item, by a percentage, then you come out making profit, which adds more money to your totals. And it's a convenience fee for the customer. We're going to be able to get their job done today. We have the parts, but of course we want to mark them up at least 30%. Keeping our van well stocked. When you are out installing, trips to the store during the day cost you time. If you keep your van properly stocked, these trips will be rare. Even if the store is close by, having to return to the store to get parts, it takes time out of your day, time that you could be using to complete installs. So when you look at your jobs for the day, you look at your schedule, they're there for you ahead of time. You want to be able to, while you're at the store, while you're picking up your appliances, look in your van, take stock of what you have. It just takes a couple moments. While you're there at the store, go ahead and get any supplies. Keep your van stocked up with what you need for that day. That way, you're able to complete more jobs in your day. Stocking the van, it costs money. So again, remember, we want to sell those parts to the customer. That cost needs to pass on. whenever we receive a job that gets us in the door with a customer, we want to view that as an opportunity to get the job complete, but also any additional fees or cost. Whether it's Lowe's or whether it's Home Depot, they just sell a basic install package, assuming that everything is just going to be plug and play, take in and take out. No extra parts, no extra work required. So when you have these parts, you need to sell these parts to the customer. If you're installing extra parts, you should also be adding labor to install to the cost so that you can make the money that you need for the work that you are doing. So keeping our van stocked, using the accounts in a wise fashion, it makes you money. So the company accounts, they are a tool for you to use. We want to use the company account wisely. I've seen individuals trying to say, well, I'm not going to spend any money at all. However, they find that when they get out onto the job, they do not have the parts required to do the job. This costs them time, multiple trips to the store, and what ends up happening is that they are basically spinning their wheels. They're losing money. They're going backwards because they're not using their time to complete jobs. But whenever we use the account, we want to use it smartly. We want to buy the things we need to make us more money to complete more jobs. We don't want to spend unnecessarily on it. It's not for personal things. But use it wisely and you will add to your success as an installer.